Hi guys, if you're into 3D scanning, you know how tricky it is to get the perfect scan. Today we are testing the new Miraco Plus from Revopoint. We will test all its features. I'm playing with it since like 2 months, something like that, so I managed to bring it in holidays in Florida and scan a lot of stuff with it. First, let's take a look at the scanner itself. The Miraco Plus has a clean, compact design and the interface is user-friendly. But what really set it apart is its Metrology kit, which is a huge upgrade for scanning large objects like cars, industrial parts, all these kind of things. We'll be testing that later in the video. First, let's have a look at the scanner itself. So, if you look at it, it's exactly the same than the classic Miraco scanner. The stuff is, this one is like the Miraco Pro. It comes with 32 GB of RAM. The classic Miraco is only 16 GB of RAM. So it allows you to scan longer. The main difference is what's inside. It's 20% more accurate than the previous one. So when you scan an object, you will get more detail. It's not like day and night, it's only 20%. And the previous one was already very good. But if you have the opportunity to get something better and sharper, it's still better to get the better one, right? So this one, just know it's 20% sharper than the previous one. With the Miraco, you can scan big to small objects. The scanner has a 1.5x to 2x infrared optical zoom to create higher resolution structured light. It does have two capture modes, single shot mode and continuous mode. The screen is 2K AMOLED 180 degrees flip touch screen. And just like the Miraco Pro, it does have a 32 GB of RAM, which can go up to 10,000 frames for non-color scan and 8,000 frames for color scans. The battery is pretty fast. You can charge 80% of it in only 35 minutes. And you can use the software which is inside the Miraco, which is built in, or you can use Revo 5, which is a free software that you can just download online and which is very powerful. Actually, the Revo 5 could push, the quality to 8, while the software inside the Miraco just go up to 7. 7 is already very nice, but if you want to go even further, you can just using a computer. You can use this scanner for multiple applications, industrial, manufacturing, reverse engineering. I personally use it for film. But yeah, people use it for industrial design. For me, I mainly scan maquettes, prototypes, all this kind of stuff. Humans for digital doubles. It's useful for lots of things, especially in VFX. We're using 3D scanning technology since decades now. So you have the scanner, which is in the box. The battery is inside. You can't change the battery. Then you have a small turntable, and if you look into the box, you have lots of stuff, everything you need actually. So what's in the box? Of course, you have the scanner, the scale bar, you have 4 of them, the coded target, the magnetic version and the sticky version. For now, I just used on my side the magnetic version for cars scanning. You have a small tripod, turntable, mini bust, markers, USB Type-C to HDMI adapter. You have the far mode calibration that we will see a bit later in the process, and the near mode calibration. You have a magic mat, you have 2 of them. And you have the adapter, the charger, 65 watt with Type-C port. You have a small Type A to Type-C adapter. You have the wrist strap, which is very useful, just in case you want to be absolutely sure you do not have a cramp or something and you make the scanner falls. Very useful. And you have a scanner bag, which is incredibly nice because the previous Miraco missed the scanner bag. I mean, it was not delivered with the scanner. It was something you could buy, on the side. Right now, the bag is delivered to you with the scanner, which is incredibly nice, a great addition. And here you can just see some top accessories. So the photogrammetric metrology kit is inside already. A scanning spray, no, you have to buy it on the side. Large turntable. I personally do have one. I bought it when I bought the range scanner, so I already have one, so it's fine, do not need one. I use it mainly to scan digital doubles. I put humans on top of it, I make them turn, and I just scan them. Okay, so now as you can see, this is the main interface. So we'll quickly go through everything. So as you can see on the left, this scanner has not been calibrated for a long time. Tap to calibrate. I will just click on it. WLAN means your internet. So you will just click on it and I can see all the Wi-Fi I have around me. Then you have the software update. So now it tells me there is no network available because my Wi-Fi is pretty far away, unfortunately. Then there is about, I can see the storage, I can see all the information. You have a quick start guide. So you can, just have a look at the content and everything if you need to. So you will never lose the quick start guide because it's in it. You have tutorial videos, you have countdown. Okay, mine is on none. I have no idea what it's for. Okay, model properties, scanner calibration, no, storage. So I never erased any project on the scanner. I used it very often and I still have half, almost half, more than half, 51% of the storage. And I've been using it for 2.5 months. And I still have half of it. It's pretty crazy. Then you have IMU calibration. Okay, the screen recording. I'm recording right now. Shutdown timer if you want to shut down, and tell the scanner to shut down. You have the language. Mine is in English. Could put it in French, obviously, but English is fine. Okay, no problem. Let's see the language. Italiano, Spanish, Turkish. I probably have Chinese and Japanese, I suspect. English, Dutch, French. Date, fine. Restore, feedback, and shut down. All good. So we are recording the screen right now, and that's just how it works. So on the left, on the top left, you can see, for example, I would just put something in front of the scanner for you to have a look. Okay, like that you can see how it works. So on the left, I can click auto and the scanner, is trying to calibrate. And the issue right now is that this, here is light gray and this is very dark. So as you can see on the center on the right of the screen, the stripes are invisible. So if I just remove auto and I try to push it up, for example, I will push it up and up and up at the maximum. And here you see some stuff starts to appear. The black appear, but the gray disappear. And if I go down, the gray will come back and the black will disappear. So just to be careful, if you scan something pure black and white, it will be tricky to scan both in the same time. Okay guys, so let's have a look a bit at the interface just to show you how it works. When you start the scanner, you have something like this. So on the top left, you have the exposure. So right now it's on auto mode, but if you click it, if you click on auto, you will remove it and you can expose or underexpose as you want. I will just let it on auto. On the bottom you have the pictures. So right now it's on auto. You have luminosity, you have white balance, and then you have a kind of flash mode where you will have the light on top of it. Usually I do not use the light because I do not scan very often with textures. I'll just click here, it's fine. Then you have near and far mode. Near is for small object. So you are, if you look at here, you are between 120 millimeters to 250 millimeters. You can push to 300. Usually I do not go more than 250. I do not go more than 250. Okay, so right now, if I want to scan here, for example, I'm in excellent. So if I go here, I'm too near. If I go here, I go back excellent. Here, I'm good. Here, I'm far, it's not that good. And here, I'm too far, so it's not what we want. Then next to it, we have the floor removal. So right now, I can scan the floor, you can see it. But if I click on it, I scan nothing because it detects, for example, if I put my hand on it, it just gets my hand. But if I click here, I have my hand on top of the floor. So I'll just, click remove on. Then you have the color. I'll put my hand again, and you can see I have my hand, and I do not have the ground. I have my hand, but not the floor. So I will just remove the color. Then you have the parameters here, point cloud, photogrammetry, global marker. Right now we are on point cloud. Accuracy high. I never go more than high. You could go high speed if you want, but high is already very high, so there is no point. I guess it's something like 11 frames a second or something like that. So except if you are running everywhere, you do not need to go more than high. I never did. Then you have the alignment, feature, marker, global marker. Feature means, for example, you are scanning an object and it will use the shape of the object to make the alignment. But if you are trying to scan something like a Coca-Cola can, for example, it's like a cylinder, so there is no way the scanner knows that if it's moving or not. So you will use a turntable and something like that, and the tracker will move and the scanner will realize that object is moving. Even if the shape is all the same, it's actually moving. So that's when you will use the marker mode. Then there is the type of object, general or dark. Just mean if the object is black, just put dark. Color means do you want textures or not, and you have 4K and 8K. So you choose, what resolution you want. Usually I just go 8K, but I'm not using too much texture, so there is not much use for me for this. So let's click OK. Then you have the same stuff with far. Far, if we click on it, it will just switching to far mode. And as you can see, if you click here, you are between 300 and 700 millimeters. So it's completely different. So now, for example, I'm here and I'm too near. So if I want to go excellent, I'm too near. Now I'm good. It's not the same. And I can still go more up. And here I'm still good. Obviously, there is less resolution if you go far mode, but it will scan a lot faster. So for example, if you have, if you have a very short time to scan something and it's a huge object, just go far mode and you will be able to scan everything. The quality is still pretty decent, especially on big object, not on very tiny maquette. Tiny maquette is too small for far mode. But if you want to scan something huge, you have no time, just go for it. Even if you have some time and it's huge, if you want to scan a car, there is no point in going, near mode. Just go far mode, it's all good. So we'll just go near mode. And like that, we'll scan our first object. So here is the first model we'll scan. That's a very nice white rhinoceros sculpted by a guy named Jun Wang. He lives in Florida, a good friend of mine. And it's a really remarkable model. It's a beauty. You have, both sides. It's an anatomical model. So that guy is doing miracle, and he accepted me to use his model for the demonstration. Incredibly detailed. I just love it. Let's see how the scanner reacts when you want to scan something like that. So right now what I will do, that model is white. So first off, I will just make sure I have no textures. So I do not need it. I don't want to scan the base. So I will just tick on. Oh. Okay, so I will just check. I will put on base removal. So the base removal is on. I'm near mode because I will be pretty close to the model. I will untick, the color because the model is white, so there is no point for me to have color. And I will just go near and continuous. So you have two modes, continuous and single shot. Single shot is a bit like photogrammetry. One shot, you move a bit, one shot, you move a bit, one shot. The stuff is, I will just go continuous for that demonstration. So for now, you just put yourself at a good distance of the scanner, which is fine. Right now I'm in excellent. And you could or click on the red button or click on the top here. Okay, and now I can see start. And I will just move and slowly scan the model. As you can see, it's incredibly quick. So that's why I'm telling you, look how quick I'm moving. There is no point for me to go faster than that. So That's why for my personal use, there is no point to go very high speed. Right now, for me, this is high speed. So for example, right now, I will just click on the top and pause the scanning. And I will turn the model a bit like that, okay? And you see, I will just go at the correct distance right now, okay, here. I will click on it, and look, the scanner found exactly where we are right now in the scan of the model. So I'm making a loop, and I'm going on the other side right now. So, oh, I'm going a bit too far. Okay, and I will just click on it again. Nice. And now I will just put the model in the good direction, you know, like that. It's facing me. So I'm here, I mean, excellent, all good. As you can see on the top left, it was red, and now it's no more red. It means the auto mode took a few seconds, you know, to find the correct exposure. So now we'll just click again here, and see, it automatically detected where we were. And I'm again moving. Okay, and this is nice. Okay, so that was for the demonstration. I won't process everything just here. I already scanned it, and I already have a video of it. So I will be able to show you that video. So for example, when you are here, this is just the cloud point. So that's why it looks very simple and very soft. So you just go fusion and you just go advanced. So I'm not going standard most of the time, I just go advanced. Now you have the point distance. The point distance is the resolution of the cloud point. You just go extreme left and you just click apply. So here you can see the point cloud fused. But you can see there's some stuff floating around. So just click on fusion again, and then you click on isolation. So that's the isolation rate. So it means if you have a floating piece which is smaller than 50% of the total point, it will just remove it. So you just click on detect. Okay, so you can see all the red area are pieces which are not attached to the main part, the main geometry. So just click on apply and it will remove everything around. Then you click on fusion again and you will just check for overlap detection, and you will click detect. So then you need to click on mesh, and you have the quality, which is a grid size. So every time I push it on the right at the maximum is 7 right now, and you can click on all filing. You will have more resolution if you use Revo 5 than if you use the Miraco to fuse your model. So as you can see, the scanner managed to scan it perfectly. You have some detail. Of course, you know, if you go and buy the original model, you will have all the tiny wrinkles and everything. That model is absolutely incredible. And the guy is making even more than this. Making apes, big cats, lots and lots of stuff. So yeah, I would recommend this kind of model. I love this anatomy model. Now let's try to scan something bigger. Lots of you have been waiting for it. Everyone who knows me know I'm a big fan of Jurassic Park, and I managed to put my hand on something big. So let's go and get it. So here it is. Look at the size of that thing. Jurassic Park velociraptor, full size. That model is coming from a mold made in Universal Studios. So sometimes, you know, the theme park get rid of some of their model and they finish on the market. They are possible to access. This is still incredibly rare to find, but that one is pretty cool. But you will tell me, you know, lots of people have Jurassic Park bust. A long time ago, Chronicle Collectibles used to make some of this. I currently have one of these since like 10 years, something like that. Bought it in the UK long time ago. But we want to make something special. So I do not only have this. I have some other pieces actually. Let's try to get them. And here we have the torso, which is pretty cool. But do we have something else? Actually, I have everything. So I have the torso, I have the arms, I have the tail, I have the legs, I have everything. And I will scan everything, which is pretty nice. So let me just put that one back. And before to start, let's give a bit of history. So that model is coming from the Steven Spielberg film Jurassic Park. It was sculpted by a studio named Stan Winston Studio, who worked on the three first film and made an animatronic for the first Jurassic World, Apatosaurus. So this one, as you can see, has all the detail from the original sculpt. But you will tell me, oh, that model has some distortion. It looks like a bit distorted. And it's absolutely right. So when Stan Winston worked on Jurassic Park, they've done an agreement. The design belonged to Universal Studio, but the technology belonged to Stan Winston Studio. So after the film, Universal asked for the animatronics. And Stan Winston said, you know what, the technology belongs to me, so I will give you the skin. So what it did is that it removed the skin, the latex and everything from the model and gave that to Universal Studio. And at that point, Universal Studio were working on Jurassic Park The Ride in Hollywood. And he wanted to make raptors, but he only had the skin. Universal just had the skin of the raptor and not the full thing, not the understructure. So they probably filled it with expensive foam, expanded foam or something like that, maybe with journal paper or anything to try to bring shape to it. And when they had something a bit more solid under the skin, they made some mold and then they created some fiberglass model like this one. So this model has all the detail of the original one. Of course, this one is probably a third or fourth generation, so you can see some issues here and there. But my goal was to go as close as possible with that model, scan everything. So actually I scanned this model 2 times. I scanned it in far mode and I scanned it in near mode. Just like that, you can check the difference in resolution. And the stuff is, far mode is not that bad, but I wanted the maximum. I wanted everything I could get. So I went to scan everything near mode. So it's a lot longer, but far mode is still decent. If that model was in the theme park and if I was like trying to scan it in the theme park with people around me and security and everything, I would have go far mode because there is no time. You have to do it quick. But this one is at home. So I bought it, it's mine. And I wanted the max out of it, so I went near mode. So let's have a quick look. So you have the model here. Let me switch the Revopoint Miraco on again. Let's have a look. Okay, so now we'll just switch far mode. Okay, base removal on, nice. Texture off, nice. Far and continuous. So now let's push this a bit. Let's see, I need some space in far mode. Okay, so let's have a look. Nice. Okay, and I will try to stay at an excellent distance. I'm a bit too close right now, so I need to step away a bit. Okay, let's step away again. Press pause again and just switch on the auto mode on the exposure, because right now the exposure was incorrect. So okay, let's have a look. Continuous, and as you can see, it found the track perfectly. So I pause the model and it still managed to find everything correctly. So this is fine. I'll just go up a bit. Okay, we'll scan around here. Need to step back a bit because I was too close. Okay, let's try to go and get the back of the model. Okay. Okay. Let's try to get the top. Okay, nice. Let's try to turn it a bit. Okay. Let's try to go on the top of the head, which I already scanned. Let's see. And as you can see, the scanner managed to find where we were perfectly. And now it's just scanning the other side. Everything is perfect. Trying to go down. I need to go on the front again. Nice. I will go up again just to scan a tiny bit of the inside. All good. I'm adjusting now. Let's try to stay in the excellent field. Also, it's fine. Oh, we got a bit on the of the ground. Okay, so this is good. Let's try to click pause and let's have a look. Nice. We should have everything. All good. Validate. That's nice. I will switch the texture off. I will go fusion, advanced, point distance. I need to go as low as possible and apply. Okay, so we've done a scan in farm mode. Took no time. It took longer to process in the Miraco than to scan it. So it was incredibly quick. And as you can see here, it looks very nice. You can see that scan is very, very cool. So this is the result when you scan in farm mode. But here on that picture, you can see what it will look like if you scan in near mode. So as you can see on the left, you have farm mode, and on the right, you have near mode. So there is a lot more detail in near mode, but it took a longer time to scan and a longer time to process, of course. This model was processed in Revo 5. It was not processed inside the Miraco. And here you can see a few pictures of the complete model. As I told you, I have everything. So you had that raptor. But right now, went from the tiny maquette to a full-size velociraptor. But this is pretty organic. And the Miraco Plus brings something new that the classic Miraco and Miraco Pro does not have. It's a metrology kit. So that's the first time I heard about something like that with that particular model. I was incredibly happy with the previous Miraco. And what I love about this is that it does not look like a scanner. So when you scan something, people look at it like, could it be a camera? Could it be something else? And they do not come and ask tons of questions. So you can still be in peace. And when I heard they were making an improved version, 20% more resolution, I was like, it's already very nice. And I made a few research and they told me, oh, we have a metrology kit with it. And I had to check what it was, because at first I was not aware what it was. And it's pretty interesting because it's kind of a mix of two technology, which is photogrammetry, which is generating a scan thanks to pictures. You know, you move around, you take pictures and use a software like Reality Capture to make it work. And of course, the infrared scanning of the Miraco. So it comes with a small box like this one. Looks very cool. So now we just open it and you can check what's inside. So here you can have a look at it. So here it's pure magnet. So you have a kit, I guess you have 300 or 400 of them. And here you have some plates. You have 4 of them. Okay. And here you can see there is a QR code. So first time you will use it, you will just go on Metrology kit and you will have to scan that QR code for it to work. If you do not, it won't work. So all this is unique. So you need to scan the code for that kit to work. So that stuff is incredibly useful when you scan vehicles, for example, because a vehicle to scan using photogrammetry, you will have a bad result. Photogrammetry is not good, for example, for scanning a car, but the Metrology kit is perfect to scan a car. So I went to scan my own car and I will show you just how it works. I decided to scan when the sun was going down, because one of the issues of that scanner is that that technology used infrared. But there is something else which generates tons of infrared. It's the sun. The sun is generating tons and tons of infrared. And the stuff is, if you want to scan something in broad daylight, it could interact badly with the scanner. So if you scan outside, try to scan in the shade, because if you are scanning under pure daylight, I had issues, you know, in pure daylight. But as you can see here, I'm just putting, you know, all the stickers on the car with my wife. And this is, of course, you know, a very speed up version, because it takes some time to do it. And once this is done, you will make a first pass, which will be like a photogrammetry in a way. So as you can see, it works pretty well. The stuff which is very nice is that it keeps track of everything because of the photogrammetry part of the process. So that's something which is pretty cool, because as you can see, for example, you put all the stickers, you know, and all the magnet on the car, and then they all have a particular, you know, tag on it. And when you have done the photogrammetry, you could see all the points and all the stickers, you know, in 3D space. So for example, if I scan the front of the car and then I scan the back of the car, the front part of the car and the back part of the car will be exactly at the correct position. Everything will be absolutely perfect. And that's a very nice achievement, because you have to realize, imagine when you scan, it's lots and lots and lots of frames, but these frames could have a tiny offset or a tiny factor of error. So you go from the front part of the vehicle, you make a loop, and then when you go back on the front, you could see there is a tiny difference. And you're like, oh, no, it's not using properly because the front part do not align perfectly. But if you use that Metrology kit, first it will lock the shape, and then you won't have that issue because the shape is locked. So it's pretty nice. That's very, very nice. So I scanned my car, and as you can see, you can still see on the process model all the tag, unfortunately. So that's something I would be able to remove, you know, digitally later on, because once you have the shape, after that everything is pretty easy. You know, I'm working in VFX, so if there is a tiny hole in the model, I can fill the gap with not many issue. But do not be scared about that, it's all good. But that was working pretty well. But that's not the only car I scanned. And that's pretty cool. When I went to Orlando in holiday with my family, you know, enjoying Universal Studio and all this stuff, I met a very nice guy, and that guy had a Jurassic Park Jeep. The issue is that I was more focused in the inside of the car than the outside of the car. So I did not use the Metrology kit on that particular car. And I could not scan, you know, the outside of it. I have some part of it, but putting all the stickers and making everything work was very long, and I was a bit reluctant to spend that much time on it. So I tried to focus on the inside, and I managed to scan the dashboard, which was absolutely black, but the scanner managed to scan it with no problem. I have the seat, I have the back part of the door, I still have a few pieces of the outside of the car, which work pretty well. And here, you know, is a picture when you can see all the part that I managed to scan. So if you saw my previous video on the first Miraco, which was just Miraco Classic, it was not even Miraco Pro, it was just a classic one, you will see what I already think about that model, because it's mainly the same but better. So more resolution and an addition of the Metrology kit. On top of it, you have lots and lots of software improvement, stability and lots of things with that one. So it's pretty nice. So it does have some good point and a few bad points. So when you think about the bad point is that if you scan under the sun, you know, in sunlight, it will show some weakness here and there. So that's mainly my main issue with the scanner, is that if I have something to scan and I see the sun and it's in full bright, full power of the sun, I will be like, okay, I will need to find a way to block that sun, because the scanner would be in trouble if I scan under the sun, unfortunately. But I managed to print a tiny something that I could probably show you. So I managed to print a small, I called it Miraco sun blocker or something like that. So that just, you know, I take the Miraco here, I'll just put it here. I'll just put the scanner just here, you know, okay. I'll put it here, it's fine. And yeah, just fit perfectly. So what the goal of that stuff? So that's something I created myself. And as you can see, imagine I'm outside, imagine that I want to scan the table, or imagine I want to scan this. I want to scan this and I'm outside in the sun. I will just take the Miraco, I will go here, and that will completely block the UVs and infrared from the sun. And I will be able to scan everything. So that thing could be, you know, pretty useful, but that's some stuff I printed for myself. Maybe Revopoint will do something similar, I have no idea, maybe not. Maybe they will improve, you know, the sensor and everything to make it possible to scan in broad daylight under a strong sun. But maybe it's something too complex, and maybe it's not a technology which is very compatible with this kind of stuff. But we'll see. That's mainly the limitations that I would say that scanner has. About the good point, something which is very important for me is that that scanner does not look like a scanner. So imagine, I don't know, you are outside, you go to Disneyland or something like that, and you see some very nice little statue and you're like, oh, you know, it look pretty nice, you know, I would love to scan that thing. If you take something like that, not everyone will jump on you like, what are you doing? Oh, it's a 3D scanner, show me how it works, blah, blah, blah. You will be able to work with it without too many people jumping on you. That's a very nice point. Secondly, you have two options. Near mode, so for someone like me who scan lots of maquettes, that the near mode is very, very useful. And then you have the far mode. So for example, I used to scan some full-size dinosaurs, you know, and sometimes I was in a rush, so I just had access, you know, to the model for like, I don't know, 30 seconds, 1 minute, and I wanted to scan huge part of the model in a very short time, and I managed to do it. So that's something which is very, very nice. So scanning small model, perfect. Scanning large model, it works, no problem. Now scanning car. So you have access to the scan of huge vehicles with the Metrology kit, which is working. You know, I made it in the video, I tested it, and it works. So you can go small, you can go large, and you can go very big. And you can scan using feature mode when you have lots of detail like that, but you can scan a car using the Metrology kit. So it's perfect. So that scanner is able to do a bit of everything. The only stuff, it's something that it can't do, but it's not its purpose at all, would be to scan a huge environment. So if you want to scan, you know, a complete building or something like that, of course you do not use that kind of technology and you move to something like a LiDAR technology or something like that. So it's not the same purpose at all. But that, for what that scanner has been done, it managed to do everything. If I had to improve one stuff, it would be the scan in broad daylight. That would be what I would improve. I did not test it too much, the texture part of it, because I'm not a guy who scans with a lot of textures. So most of the time I make a separate photo shoot for the texture. So it can do it. So I tested it, you know, in some area. I managed to, you know, get the color and everything, but it was not really something I was using a lot anyway. So I wasn't not, you know, importing the texture and everything. If I, you know, for example, when I went to scan the car in Florida, I made a complete photo shoot with my big, you know, camera, the one I'm filming, you know, that video with right now, a big, you know, Panasonic S1. And anyway, I will use photo projection using that huge camera on every piece. But I took something like 1,000 pictures of that car. So of course, that scanner won't compete against 1,000 raw 24 megapixel picture taken with a professional camera. It's not the same thing at all. So, well, we'll see if they make some improvement. Already, I have very often some update of the software, so it's very nice. So every time they try to improve everything, so it's pretty cool. I'm curious to know if they will make another version of it or not, because something which would be a very nice addition would be to push the far mode and to have something like very far mode. So right now, you know, you have the near mode where the scanner is here. You have the far mode where the scanner is something like that. What if I want to be 3 meters away, 5 meters away? That would be nice. So I'm not sure if it's possible, but what I mean is, if there was 2 improvements to make, just create a very far mode, like that scanner would be able to do absolutely everything, and just improve the shooting and scanning under broad daylight, because that's the only area where I got some technical difficulties. As soon as you have a strong sun, you would be in trouble. Go in the shade, just to let you know. But most of the time when you go in, you do something a bit professional, you are inside, you have control lighting, you have everything. Just right now, you know, I have my lights and everything, and I got absolutely no issue. Not in far mode, not in near mode, in nothing. It works. But if I had scanned that one in my garden in the middle of the afternoon, that would have been a lot more difficult. So you have to remember that an infrared technology does not mix very well with the sun improvement. So I hope that video explained you a bit what you wanted to know about that particular scanner. I'm particularly happy with it. So everything is pretty fine. I'm using it a lot. I was a kind of a photogrammetry guy for a long time, but right now I'm using this one a lot. I'm using photogrammetry just when I want to scan something incredibly huge and when I can't be close to the model. So if I want to shoot something and there is a fence or anything, of course, there is no way I can use that one. But if there is no fences, nothing, if I can go close to the model, I will use this one. And with the tiny bag, you can bring that stuff with you with not many issues. So it's pretty cool. I hope that video helped you, and I hope it was helpful for you and that it helped you to understand a bit more what that scanner was about, what it was able to do, what was its purpose, what were its limitations, and all these kind of things. And see you soon on the channel, guys.